Hey friends, quick video here on all the suspicious things going on with this Baltimore Bridge incident that leads me to believe that it wasn't an accident. Our points of contention include power loss of the ship, symbolism around this whole situation, economic effects of the port being closed down, the perfect angle that the ship took to hit the support column, hazardous materials now having to be rerouted around Baltimore, and this so-called investigation that the FBI somehow concluded oh so fast. First of all, power loss of the ship. Video evidence shows that the ship was actually making a real good trajectory going under that bridge, but as soon as the ship apparently loses power, and then right when the power comes back on is when it makes its turn. And you could even see some smoke billowing out of the smokestack. I don't know if that's automatic from backup power generation systems or whatever the case, but as soon as the power comes back on, it turns and it hits that support column. Also, I wonder, no tugboats? I don't know what the standard operating procedure is around ports, but typically there's tugboats helping these big cargo ships get in and out of the ports. And also, navigation systems. I presume the navigation systems on these giant ships are very advanced and very automated, so how did it somehow, I don't know, I have a lot of questions. We also got the perfect angle. Somebody shared this satellite imagery with me on Twitter with a damn good point to make. You can see these little dots. These are protection pylons, which I presume, and it makes sense, they would be there to prevent this exact thing from happening, from ships hitting those giant support columns of the bridge. Thing is, like we were saying, the ship was making a real good trajectory until power went off, power came back on, and then it made its turn right into that column right there. Perfectly missing, just by feet, I don't know, this protection pylon right there. So what a perfect angle. My, how coincidental. Power off, power on, ship turns, misses the pylon, hits one of the two main support columns of that big giant bridge. Okay, economic effects of the port being shut down. Let me just say, if I were some rogue domestic group or foreign nation and I were trying to destabilize a country, this ain't a bad way to do it. So the Port of Baltimore, quite large, quite important. 25%, 1/4 of all U.S. coal goes in and out of the Port of Baltimore. Also, it is a massive port for agriculture. As per Daily Mail reporting, this is an excerpt from one of their articles today, the Baltimore port is the largest American port by volume for handling farm and construction machinery, as well as agricultural products. Millions of tons per year of things like sugar, salt, fertilizers, and forest products all go in and out of the Port of Baltimore. So you add in this Port of Baltimore now being shut down for weeks or months or however long it's going to take them to investigate and clean out that bridge debris. Couple that with all of the mysterious fires at the food processing plants and production facilities over the past couple of years, and people like Bill Gates in China buying up all the farmland, our infrastructure, our food supply is already being stressed. It's already being compromised. Now this is only going to add to that. Next, we've got the situation of hazmat, hazardous materials. So as per the Code of Maryland regulations, I have screenshotted here, it says the Francis Scott Key Bridge is a convenient alternative route for crossing Baltimore's harbor. Not anymore. As per a statement put out by the Maryland Transportation Authority 2 days after the bridge fell, now you can't go in tunnels as per code. Hazmat, hazardous materials, can't go through tunnels, so there's going to be huge detours, huge reroutes of hazmat moving in Baltimore. Let me just say, if there's any hazmat trucks, vehicles moving hazardous materials around Baltimore over the next few weeks or months, years really, because that bridge is going to take years and years to rebuild, get working again. I hope they have security. I hope they do. Symbolism. There's a load of symbolism around this whole event. We're just going to mention a couple of things here. Francis Scott Key, the gentleman who that bridge is named after, he was a pivotal person in American history, living here in the late 1700s, early 1800s. This guy, number one, he witnessed the War of 1812 between the United States and Britain, which I believe was at the point of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. I think that bridge was built at the point where this gentleman was watching that war begin, the War of 1812. And also, during that time, Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. So again, if there was an anti-American rogue domestic group or foreign nation that was looking to damage this country, not only going after pivotal economic centers, but also send a message symbolically, well, not a bad bridge to go after. And one more point. I also saw that just a month ago, Joe Biden designated the CISA agency, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. CISA, remember them from the 2020 election? Calling the 2020 election super safe and secure. Yeah, Chris Krebs, gotta love him. So CISA, Joe Biden wrote an executive order just a month ago making CISA, like giving them extra power or extra authority to bolster the cybersecurity of ports and terminals and waterways. Yeah, okay. Let me bring up that photo. This is what I mean. Last month, Joe Biden issued an executive order embedding CISA into the cybersecurity of vessels, harbors, ports, and waterfront facilities. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here, friends. So there is all of that, plus CISA, which I didn't put on my list. A lot of weird stuff going on with this. Okay, last thing here. This so-called FBI investigation, air quotes there. Very fast conclusion. This guy, his name's William Del Bagno. If I'm pronouncing that right, I don't really care if I am. He came out only a few hours after the event this morning. And in fact, when I first woke up, I saw some reports from, I think it was Fox News, saying that officials have not ruled out terrorism. And then FBI statement just a few hours later, FBI press conference, he said the FBI found no evidence of terrorism. Oh, did you? Did you even look, my friend? And here's the kicker. This guy that said that, Mr. William Del Bagno, he was assigned to the FBI field office in Baltimore there as the special agent in charge. Check that date. You see that date there? What's that date? Yesterday. Mr. William was assigned as the special agent in charge of the FBI field office in Baltimore just yesterday. My gosh, what timing, how incredible. So, FBI investigation, super suspect. We got symbolism around this whole thing. We've got weird stuff going on with the hazardous materials now having to be rerouted. Eyes on that. They're going to be susceptible now, more susceptible. We got the economic effects. Hopefully not, but maybe are going to be massive from this. The perfect angle at which the ship hit that support column and the power loss. If we're talking cyber attack or hack here, yeah. It might be a problem with how computerized and vulnerable everything's becoming.